Welcome to a new week here on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Micciche. I'm a financial advisor and co-owner of True North Retirement Advisors, a fee-only fiduciary financial advisory practice managing $425 million in assets. For 17 years, I've helped clients retire with confidence. And my goal on this podcast is to help you simplify all the complexities of planning for your retirement so you can focus on what truly matters, enjoying your retirement years while maintaining financial independence. And one of my favorite questions I came across recently, and I've actually started asking this of clients if they're nervous right now about what's going on in the markets and the economy, is what needs to happen for you to feel more in control right now? And I think it's really important to ask the right questions. And I love this particular question because it gets to the heart of the issue for most people. You are not in control of the events of the world, yet you are feeling the effects of those events in a very real way as your investments go up and, so far this year, as they go down. Then sometimes it's a small change that can make all the difference. Maybe slightly lowering your allocation to stocks, maybe selling a particular holding that you have that is the most volatile, like it's the thing that keeps you up at night, moving a little bit more into cash so that at least you won't need to sell stocks later on down the road if things get worse from here. Those are all small little changes that you could make that would help you to feel more in control. Because sometimes we have to do something. When things are scary, we have this like fight or flight response. And so just taking back some control by making a change is helpful. The problem is that way too many people make huge sweeping changes, like they'll liquidate their entire portfolio and go to cash. That's a bad idea. But sometimes what is like the smallest little thing you can do? And that's what I try to encourage clients to do. What can we do to make a meaningful difference, move the needle a little bit, but without abandoning our long-term investment strategy? And I think the key here is keeping the long-term view in focus and not letting the current events that are happening right now cause you to completely abandon that long-term investment strategy. Because even if you retired today or you're already retired, you probably still have 20, 30 years to make this money last. So you may say, I don't have time anymore because I'm retiring. Well, no, we have to still keep the long-term view in mind because we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years that we need to continue investing. So just doing the smallest thing in many cases, that is often enough to help you stick to your plan. And that's one of the strategies that I've used with clients who are really nervous or panicking or they're tempted to sell and get out and abandon their long-term plan is what are small changes. It works very well. It helps them to kind of take back some of that control, but we didn't completely throw the baby out with the bathwater. So this week, I really want to dive deeper on this topic. It is how to keep your focus. What I mean by that is focus on the long term and your goals and what's important to you, and keep your nerve as well in this chaotic market environment that we're in. I mean, my neck hurts every day because it's like, it's up 1,000, it's down 1,000. It's been tremendously volatile, historically volatile. I think one of the days in April, it was the third best day in the stock market gains ever. And that was coming off of the heels of one of the worst down periods in a very brief period of time, certainly in my lifetime, but over many, many decades as well. So we've had a lot of volatility in the markets the last several weeks and frankly, this year for the most part. So I'm going to share with you some tips and some strategies for managing that emotional roller coaster that comes when there is a market downturn so you can stay invested and resist the urge to sell everything and abandon your long-term investment strategy, which frankly, unless you have all your money in like one position and they're going bankrupt or you own a bunch of garbage investments, abandoning your plan is pretty much always a devastating long-term decision. So we got to keep our focus on what matters, which is the long term, and keep our nerve as well. And so that's what I'll be sharing you with some tips that I've used with clients over the years that work pretty well. And starting with probably the simplest thing tomorrow, and I'm not going to give it away, but it is like one of the best things you can do. It's also one of the easiest things you can do to keep your nerve. So Come on back tomorrow and I'll reveal what that is. My name is Ashley Micciche, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.